Hello everyone, my name is Kym-shaped and welcome to Building Brand You. This is the podcast where we help you to accelerate your success, getting you more clients, more revenue, more business and more opportunities by unlocking your greatest asset, you. This is the first in season 2, but more than that, it's actually the first time I've told my story on this podcast. So we're going to call this episode 001. So 4 years ago, I turned 47, and 47 was a really strange time for me. I was 2 months into a 5-month handover contract, after which I'd created this opportunity where I could indulge in whatever I fancied for the next 12 months. So I didn't doubt my decision to leave the company I was leaving, but I felt relieved rather than happy. The uncertainty of the previous 18 months had kind of taken their toll, and I really couldn't wait to escape and get back to me. Interestingly, back in 2004, my last surviving grandparent, my Oma, passed away at the age of 94. So that's a terrific innings, right, by any stretch of the imagination. And our whole family has many, many fond memories of her still enjoying her pint of Guinness, which was almost as big as she was, in the month before she died. When I turned 47, she was at the forefront of my mind, and I'd created a frame of reference that said 94 is a good innings and envisaged the years stretching ahead of me. So when I turned 47, she was at the forefront of my mind. I had created this frame of reference that said 94 is a good innings, and I sort of imagined the years stretching ahead of me. And when I had that birthday at 47, I told myself I'm only halfway through. And I fell into a deep, dark hole. What on earth, I asked myself, was I going to do for another 47 years? For a few weeks afterwards, I stumbled around in this dark place. I swung wildly between despair and desperation, and then I'd immerse myself in lots of fun stuff to avoid everything I was feeling. Put on a brave face, but I was hard on myself. You know, how ungrateful I was that I'd been given this freedom, yet I wasn't enjoying it. On how I should have worked harder, been smarter, played safer. I wondered if I'd ever really be satisfied, or would the next 47 years be more of the same, leaping from thing to thing, immersing myself in the immediate versus the thinking about the future. I actually contemplated ending it all, envisioning with absolute calm and clarity how easy it would be to do that. One day I was sitting out on my back patio, and it's a real sun trap. It was autumn and the sun was just streaming onto my face. The book I'd been reading, I'd actually turned it spine up on my lap, and it was really quiet. There was no sound from the neighbouring back gardens, which is quite unusual on a Sunday here in North London. And I suddenly felt the tension drain from my body. I opened my eyes and sat up with this energy absolutely coursing through my veins. I'm only halfway through, I whispered, and I smiled. There was this renewed clarity, and I saw what the next year would be about. It would be about creating the foundations for the next half of my game. So the year passed, and I did all of the fun stuff I wanted to do. I tried stuff because I was curious. I tried stuff for the sake of trying it, as opposed to aiming to master it or do well at it. I spent lots of time reading, which is my favourite thing to do ever. I rediscovered my physicality and strength. I joined a local Pilates class. I cooked. I travelled. I became a trustee at a local secondary school. And when that whole year ended, I dusted off my CV and I put myself back on the market. So I got the word out to recruiters and connections, and I was feeling quite excited about rejoining the corporate fold. So while I'd had my year of play and self-discovery, I was looking forward to being part of something bigger again, and being part of a team and bringing a little bit more routine back into my life. I expected it would take some time to find the right thing. Firstly, the more senior the role, the more difficult it is. And I'd learnt some things about what I was looking for during my proverbial gap year. So I had the opportunity to be a little choosy about what I did next. So after the inevitable up and down recruitment roller coaster, I found myself in September down to the last 2 candidates for a particular marketing director role. And this was with a fantastic charity out in West London. So the final interview had gone really well. I'd enjoyed meeting the people I would potentially be working with, and the location was green, leafy, and simply gorgeous. And I started to think, maybe this is what's next. So 2 days later, I'd learnt they'd decided to go with the other candidate. Yet to my surprise, I didn't feel at all disappointed. The recruiter was someone I'd known for a while and was being so incredibly supportive and encouraging. But as she was talking to me on the phone and reassuring me and telling me not to worry, I kept asking myself, why am I not more upset? And my year away had actually made more of an impact than I'd realised. I'd spent all of my time focusing on discovering who Kym was without the corporate trappings. But actually, I'd spent no time exploring who I was with them. As far as I was concerned, that was sorted. I was a corporate girl. But as I listened to my recruiter friend that day, I realised that the game had actually changed. I had been looking for a Kym-shaped box that simply didn't exist. I was going to have to build it for myself. That date remains crystal clear in my head, the 20th September 2018. And it was the start of unlocking my greatest asset, of building my Kym-shaped box, one with all the edges and curves in all the right places. Less than 3 months later, on January the 1st, 2019, I started Artemis Futures, my business coaching practice that helps people get results in their own business by unlocking their greatest asset, themselves. Later that year, I joined a second startup as a managing partner. In 2020, launched a third business in the Middle East with 2 business partners. I still am a trustee at the secondary school. I've become a writer, a podcaster, and was nominated as a global influencer in both business to business and in mental health. I'm here because I know personally how important it is to master the game in your own life and to unlock what's great about you. I know that it's both scary and thrilling. There are days when the pushing and shoving, the blind faith that you're on the right path yields little result. On other days, it's like the universe has thrown open its doors and showers you with everything you could wish for. I have no idea where I'll be sitting this time next year. It's actually part of the fun. But right now, I've never been more certain that this is who and where I'm meant to be, sharing my story with you and launching this series of Building Brand You. Last year, my mother sent me a photocopy of a quote she'd found in a book. She's been an important sounding board my whole life, and it's just a space of beautiful and unconditional love and support at times when I've asked myself what it is that makes me reach for more, and why can't I be happy settling for things as they are like everyone else seems to be able to. This quote encapsulates the heart of everything that these conversations have been about. The individual has always had to struggle to keep from being overwhelmed by the tribe. If you try it, you will be lonely often, and sometimes frightened, but no price is too high to pay for the privilege of owning yourself. It is such a gift, and in Building Brand You, helping you to unlock your greatest asset, that's what I hope this podcast and all I do delivers for you. Thank you for listening to the Building Brand You podcast. I'm Kym Hamer, and if you've enjoyed this episode, please leave me a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Connect with me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, and for all the latest news and tips, become a member of the brand new Building Brand You Facebook group. I help people to accelerate their success by unlocking their greatest asset. If you'd like to find out more, please book in for a free 20-minute coaching call at bit.ly/BBY chat. Accelerate your results by unlocking your greatest asset, you.